Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. On behalf of the Shanghaing School of Tibetan Medicine, my name is Adam Okerblom, and we're really happy to have you joining us today once again for our regular show. So on this show, we explore Tibetan medicine's greater contribution to the global conversation of public health and wellness. We explore Tibetan medicine's current role in the rich cultural heritage of traditional healing arts and science from all around the world, and we facilitate that discussion. So to learn more about our school, the Shanghaing Institute School of Tibetan Medicine, founded by Chogyal Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche, please do check our new community platform, which is community.tibetanmedicineschool.org, where we have more information about all our upcoming programs and offerings, including our 4-year training on Tibetan medicine, and you can keep in touch with us. And as always, please do follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and check out all of our existing content. So for our show today, we're going to do a live stream for the first hour, and then we're going to be having a more private question and answer time on our platform. So you are most welcome to join us for that as well. So today we welcome our special guest, Andrea Dell'angelo, the director of the International Humanitarian Aid Organization, ASIA. ASIA is the Association for International Solidarity in Asia, and it is a humanitarian organization founded by the acclaimed scholar and spiritual teacher and founder of our school, Chogyal Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche. ASIA works with humanitarian relief in various countries in response to natural disasters and other urgent situations globally, including the current COVID-19 crisis. ASIA also works to enhance and safeguard the cultural tradition and legacy of traditional peoples and communities worldwide, things like language and culture and spirituality, all of these sort of things. So at this time, as most of us are very well aware, the COVID-19 crisis in India is hitting a critical situation with new variants of the virus, and the country has surpassed 20 million infections in total. The hospitals are in dire need of life-saving medical equipment and supplies. Impoverished communities are always hit the hardest. And there is great strain on the basic elements of infrastructure in the country, such as medical care, food security, public safety. So at this time, the ASIA Institute is raising funds for humanitarian relief in India, as well as in Nepal and other regions, India and Nepal, in response to the COVID-19 crisis. So here to tell us a little bit more about that today is the ASIA director, Andrea Dell'angelo. Andrea Dell'angelo is a specialist in agrometeorology and cooperation in developing countries. And for the last 32 years, he has been the Secretary General of ASIA, carrying out more than 50 missions in Tibet, Nepal, India, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Bhutan. So we are really happy to have him with us today, explaining the current fundraising efforts with ASIA in India and beyond. And as always, our ongoing host, Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo, the director of our school. Menpa Wangmo is a practitioner and teacher of traditional Tibetan medicine with over 30 years of experience. She is the director of the Shanghaing School of Tibetan Medicine, as well as the co-founder of ATMA, the American Tibetan Medical Association, the Tibetan Medicine Professional Association here in the United States. So Menpa Wangmo, as always, thank you so much for joining us. And then I will be your moderator today. My name is Adam Okerblom here in the San Francisco East Bay area. So welcome everybody. And one last reminder, please do make sure to keep your microphones and cameras muted and off until we will commence with our question and answer period in about an hour. And then you'll jump on and we'll have a nice cozy chat. Okay, so Menpa Wangmo, thank you so much for hosting us today. We hope you're doing very well. and our special guest, Andrea Dell'angelo. Thank you for joining us today. How are things over where you are at, Mr. Dell'angelo, except for notwithstanding your internet connection at this time?
So thank you very much for inviting me to participate to the Tibetan school, and also to be Dr. Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo. She noted with many. Really apologize first of all for my bad connection and also for my poor English. So you have to apologize myself for this. And for the video, I mean, you're not losing much. I mean, my face is not an handsome, so you're not looking if you're without video.
Andrea, I'm so sorry. You know, your connection is really not working at this time. We can't even really hear your audio clearly. Yes.
I try another. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can try a different connection or different network or hotspot.
Give me one.
Sure. I tell you what, take your time, Andrea. Take your time, change connections, and then when you're ready, either write me a note in the chat,
Okay.
Or just jump on and just jump in and interrupt anytime, okay, when you're ready. Take your time. Yeah, no, we're so happy to have you here. Everybody, thank you so much for your patience with us. Our guest, Andrea, is in a very rural part of Italy at this time, a very beautiful area in the mountains. Which you may know quite well. And so he's going to have to try a different connection now. So in the meantime, Menpa Wangmo, I know that you have quite a bit of personal experience. I know that you have quite a bit of personal experience with the ASIA Institute and with the work that they've done over the years. So would you like to talk a little bit about your impression of ASIA?
Okay, thank you. I hope the connections works soon. Yeah, my experience working for ASIA, it's a like a 90s. I worked with ASIA, and also indicated from my teacher, Rinpoche asked me to go with ASIA. So I think it's that my experience with ASIA is really they're trying to carrying the messages or the actions to the remote area and try to help the healthcare's educations, sanitations. So this is so why they do these kind of things. This is my own opinions, because Rinpoche has these visions. First, he wants to this doctrine community more like individual spiritual practitioners. They tried the individual practice things. And the second, he formed this ASIA is to help all the humanities, and special he tried to feed back to his country, his people. So that's what I see. So my own experience work with ASIA, we had a lot of challenge moments, because at that time there's no trains, there's no airplane, so basically everything by car. So it's every distance where we need to reach is a far distance, is a complicated situations, but the peoples in Asia, they worked very diligently. So I think this is really, I see, one is the loving kinds of care of the people. The other hand, I see this is like dedications to the teacher. So this really I see is beautifully. And then Asia did a lot of good things. So there's no time to today, everything's talk. But the one reflected in me is the one very serious things. We ended our contract with the local government authorities project in 2000, and then we left by the time. And then I came to the West. So, and then 2007, I think, one day I was in Lhasa, and then we went in the Jokang temple to like pilgrimage, and then there is a young lady came, and then she said, so like she's greeting to me. So I don't remember her face so well. And then I said, I also did like a greeting to her, said hello, like in the Tibetan, like Tishtili. And then in the Jokang, so there's a big long line, so there's not so much things to talk. And then when we came outside of the Jokang temple, and then she's waiting outside there for me. And then she said, do you remember me? So I said, no, I don't remember you. And then she said, my name is some, like a Kakodoma or something. Now I don't remember her name either. But then I said, how you met me? And then she said, oh, I came to the hospitals which built in Asia, in Eastern Tibet. And you guys helped me to heal my legs. And then now I graduated my college, and then my life is totally changed. So then I asked it, then I remembered there is a local young lady. She broke her hip bones and she couldn't walk. So her father took her to all of the Tibet, all of China to treat her. And some reason, I don't remember exactly what was the reason, but it did not work for her treatment. So then Asia, at the time, Asia is in the region. And then we had such a great doctors brought from Asia. The doctors are so kind, so expert, so professional. Really, the local people thought those are sort of like a god, sort of like ascended by the god, sort of like. And then one of those doctors said is he need to go to in sort of like Italy, that he knows where is equipment, so on and so forth. And then he said that, and then Andrea came, and then Andrea, they talked, and then they decided to sort of like sponsor her. And then at the time, her age is still is a young children, like she's under 16 years old. And then maybe she was 13 years old. I don't remember really exactly everything. And then her father decided to companion her. So these two people decided to go to get a treatment in Italy. So now there is big problems. First is like finance problems, then is like lodging problems, then is main problem is the hospitals, doctors, arrangement, so on and so forth. On top of that is the language issue. The father speaks Chinese, sort of like a medium way. And then the daughter is small, so she is not capable to do anything. And then other funeral language is too far for them. Then also found the translators. So these kind of things like a complicated organized to this one lady, young ladies, and then took to Italy and then treated. And then that lady, young lady, was now a dude who I met at the Jokang. And she told me is the how they changed her life. So she said, thank you really from my heart. And then also she's with her mother. And she said, I graduated from the college, and then now she walks. She walks. There's still a little bit, sort of like can see a little bit, but it's if she wear like a Tibetan dress, it's even cannot tell. So this is one of the person who touched by Asia. And then there are many of those kind of people. So this is really made me is so happy that the organization who I participated at least changed one person's life. One person's life. This is one person's life, but it's her family and the future she's going to have children, her life, her generations. So it looks like one person treated, but it's surrounded her is like a big community touched. So this is really is my experience work with Asia. So I want to really, I feel so happy, and then I want to share that today with you. And then Andrea's here, or still he's not?
Thank you so much, Gen Phuntsog Wangmo. I think that's
Yeah.
Oh, Andrea's
Andrea,
here.
are you able to connect? What do you think? You want to give your audio a try?
Uh, I'm, I'm
No, unfortunately, that's this. I don't
okay.
think it's going to work just yet. I don't think so.
Here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I don't think it's going to work for us right now. But please do stay with us. Maybe we try one more time a little bit later on. Also, if you have any particular message or any additional information, please do type in the chat, Andrea. You can type into the chat feature and let us know by text any message or information. We'd be very happy to talk about with the important fundraising efforts currently. So please stay with us. We'll try your microphone again in a little while, and then if you have any specific information, please do add in the chat, and we can talk about that. Okay, so again, Wangmo, thank you so much for that story. That was a really touching and beautiful anecdote, and I'm sure that there are many stories like that, over the years associated with Asia's work. And it really just reminds me that kind of like special way of helping, of deeply transforming the life of one person, and all that you described, the kind of community around that person and all the different people working together, that whole network, going to Italy, coming back, working with their family, working with translators and language issues and geographic issues and national boundary. And then finally, even after all of those challenges, then you have to receive the proper medical care. So that's really, really helpful. I mean, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful story. Thank you. It really just touches on the essence of, the inspiration for the Aussie Institute, the Dharma teachings, the compassion. It really just reminds me of that essence of compassion. So thank you so much. Yeah, I had a question for you. Do you happen to know, so the ASIA Foundation, this institute was founded by our teacher and our school founder, Chogyal Namkhai Norbu. And do you happen to know the context or the situation when Rinpoche decided to start ASIA? Do you know anything about why he started or what was happening or what initially inspired this big project that's been going for 30 years now?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, today really I planned to just listen, so I didn't prepare nothing.
I know I'm totally
So
putting you on the
yeah,
spot.
but
I'm so sorry.
yeah, but I think it's the founded in like a late 80s, like around like 1988, that area. And then so the main, and then like it working, preparing things, and then the first, I'm not sure really first or second, but is it started to work in Tibet is in 1996. So that was the like a run the project. So that means is in 1996 sort of like started running the project in Tibet, means is the big number of years before that, the minimum 10 years must be they prepared to work, and then to get all the connections, to get all the permissions from the local governments, and also to get the founding monies, and then so on and so forth. I think it must be worked more than 10 years before that. So the reason I see, as I said before, I see the Rinpoche is he's like a great scholar, also a great master. And when we looking those great masters, entire their life is dedicating to the humanities, benefit to the sentient beings, not this group, not that group, not my group or his group, my religion or his religion. What those great peoples try to do is to benefit to the whole humanity. It's like when we're looking like a Mother Teresa, so this kind of those like a great peoples, when we look at all those great people. So this is also I see that the Rinpoche's one group like spiritual followings or individual, your own sort of like a business way. If you interest, you practice. If you interest, do this. If you're not interested, you relax, sort of like. The other hand, it's important either you interest practice or you're not interested in Buddhism or this or that. But as a human, what would be our duty? As human, what are we supposed to do? Once we grown up, once we have everything, we try to think who's younger and who is weaker, or who we can help, who we can sort of like send in our hand, at least to greeting. So I think this is that the one of the main reasons Rinpoche founded this Asia. And then second is that since he's a Tibetan scholar, he knows all the value of the Tibetan culture, Tibetan knowledge. So that's the reason I wanted to preserve and then special like promote. So we are now talking in the West country, Tibetan medicine. As you know, there are many people like benefit from the simple Tibetan medicines. We say like, if you have difficult to sleep, how about you try to not make tea, drink that one, sort of like, So simple, this kind of like a message. If you have problems, how about you try to exercise breathing? So those kind of like simple message, meditations, yanta yoga, breathing, herbs, massage, like a kunyi. So all those kind of thing is like those culture or the knowledge is useful for the whole humanity. So Rinpoche sees it important to preserve this culture, not losing. But second is not only preserve, but also promote to the other who need it. So this kind of two reasons, and then he founded this Asia, working this kind of cultures, preserve, promote, and also like a benefit to the peoples, like a humanity. So I think this is that his main goal. I don't see any other goals because I attended the multiple meetings, multiple talks, and Andrea is one of the person Rinpoche really trusted him to give this job to him, and also the Andrea accepted this job from Rinpoche. And this I see also sort of like a father and a son, sort of like the like the Rinpoche trusted, and then he accepted, and then he's carrying this one. So over the time, really, I see he's one of the best to carrying this job. It's really difficult a job, as I said before. To try to resolve one person's issue, there's multi things involved, not only the money issue, not only that the one pieces of like the issues. There's many of these kind of things involved. So yeah, Andrea and then his team, they try to work day and night to carrying the Rinpoche's message, following his steps to benefit. So this is what I see. So yeah, the goal of the Rinpoche is to benefit to the humanities. So that's I see. Purpose reason of that, the recent years, since 2001, I'm not physically involved with the Asia because it's Rinpoche asked me to do the Tibetan medicine, so I'm doing more this part. But of course, my entire like energy is still is following the what Asia is doing, where Asia is. So this kind of, So over the time, I see every single natural that disasters happened in this global, Asia try to reach there. Every single, like something happened, things, and then Asia really tried their best be there. And then now this during the pandemic is I can find Andrea in Italy, but other than that, when I try to reach him, and then in his different parts of the globals, he's running in the day and the night. So that's really I see he understood well the Rinpoche's mission, Rinpoche's goal, and he and his team carrying this Rinpoche's goal, like alive. So that's what I see.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Wangmo. And again, we're really putting you on the spot. We thought we were mostly going to listen, but yes, thank you for coming and sharing your personal experience and some of your stories. And actually, it's very appropriate because you were so close to Rinpoche and you have been around him for all of these projects through all of these years. And so we all know that you have very intimate knowledge of these topics. So thank you for sharing with us on the spot. And yeah, and Andrea, we're going to need to have to do this again sometime and get you back with us because I am sure that you have so many, beautiful stories like the one that Menpa Wangmo shared with us. I'm sure there's many heartwarming anecdotes and stories of the works that you've done with Rinpoche and with the Asia Institute over the years and decades. So really, I want to thank you for all of your work and thank you for sticking with us here. We must try this again and we'll get our connection right. So again, Phuntsog Wangmo, so with some of the things you were just explaining, it really reminds me, about how you were explaining how Rinpoche's kind of goal and philosophical ideal for this institute is the preserving and promoting the traditional cultures, the indigenous cultural heritage of people in Tibet and in different areas. And then, of course, the Asia Institute is focused in Asia, primarily working in India, Tibet, Nepal. But what you were explaining reminds me of many of Rinpoche's stories that I personally heard him share numerous times about his travels and interaction with indigenous ethnic cultural people in other parts of the world, including the United States in America here, when Rinpoche spent time with the Native American communities in the Southwest of America, the Diné, Navajo people, other communities. And I heard him tell many stories, and the theme is the exact same as how you were just describing. And he would explain how the importance of not just preserving ancient cultural heritage, he would always say something like, not like just in a museum, not just on a shelf, not just preserving in that way, although that's important, but also he would actively encourage and exhort communities and people to promote and share their heritage. And then he would always say, if somebody has something beautiful and helpful and worthwhile that comes from their ancient culture to offer. And then they should really be supported to promote that, supported to celebrate that. And Rinpoche did a lot of very special work all around the world to help with that kind of thing. So we know that he valued that cultural legacy and that kind of ancient wisdom of peoples from all around the world. Furthermore, the last thing I'll say about that is that it's also uncanny how Rinpoche could see the kind of the deep wisdom nature of cultural traditions, not just in Tibet or India, not just in the kind of homeland of Dzogchen teachings, but he could identify kind of a deep wisdom nature and connection to those Dzogchen teachings in cultures around the world. And he would explain that and have that profound connection. And so it's a very beautiful thing. So, I really do appreciate Rinpoche's work and Andrea's work and the whole team as well. So, okay, that's about all that I can say about this. Really, you're making me wish that I had more active experience with this institute. And so hopefully I can get involved. I will say that anybody, I'm going to put, if you're still with us here now today, I'm going to plug into the chat the website for the ASIA Foundation's fundraising efforts in India, because, as we are intended to talk about today, there's a really, really serious crisis in India, and they are doing this amazing work for the fundraising. So here's a link in the chat of this Zoom room right here in the chat. And if you have not yet connected, please do connect. Please do learn about ASIA's work in India. Please do make a donation and participate, and also share to your social networks. It's very important. So I'm going to post that to everyone, not just to Matthew. And we'll try that one more time. Okay. Again, Phuntsog, is there anything else that you would like to say about this topic of ASIA? I'd like us maybe now, here's what we'll do, if it's okay with you. We'll have you kind of close the topic of ASIA for now, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Shanghaing new courses and our new platform. And I'm going to ask Matthew to talk about the new platform.
Absolutely.
Yes, but first, what would you like to say to close about the Andrea's work and the ASIA?
Yeah, what I want to say is now this, as you are doing fundraising for this the pandemic crisis, I think this is also good. They're doing that, and then we know the people who suffering need it. And in the meantime, also great opportunity for us. We can participate in such good things, and to show is that our sympathies, our feelings towards to the people who are suffering. I really want to say thank you, Asia, to making this opportunity for us. There is where we can participate. An example today, when we're thinking, if you want to go out and have a coffee, as a minimum, you need to spend $5. Without $5, there's no a cup of cappuccino, cup of coffee. So that's $5 if you want to send to India by yourself, and then cannot do anything. All the $5 we put it together, hopefully 100 people put like each person $5, and then a big number comes. And this is, I think, is a great opportunity. Like myself, I cannot put a lot of big number of money. I can't. If I try to send a $10 to India, half of them need to pay for the service. So this kind of, I think this is really a great opportunity. This really I like. The last time there's a Tibetan community did fundraising, I participated that, and then before that the Dergi community fundraising for that, I participated that, and then now the Asia is doing, we're participating here. I think this is it. Some people feel like when you sharing these fundraising things to people makes feel like you're making you know, like annoying them or disrespect or things. But I personally really I see this open for us a great chance to participate, accumulate merit, and to do something like the human value. So that's really I want to say thank you for Asia doing this. And then, as Adam, like you said, I really hope people can participate because it's in the Tibetan culture, or when we seek, when we something happened, either happy way, unhappy way, and for us, we consider is like the sort of like generosity is very important. Also, the last time I listened to Rinpoche's teaching, also he said it's how important of this kind of. So for sure, everybody knows. And then I want to also ask people, please be participate to the ASEA. That's I want to say at the moment.
Thank you so much, Menpa Wangmo. Thank you so much for sharing and being with us today. Okay, and thank you, our guests. Thank you so much for joining us here today and sticking with us. And once again, thank you so much to Andrea Dell'angelo, the director of the ASIA Institute, for many, many years with 50 or more projects under their belt, and a big important project currently underway with support for India and beyond in the COVID crisis. Link in the chat, and please do participate. So we have a little more time. So everybody, if you're still with us, we would love to share with you a little bit about some of the Shanghaing Institute's upcoming programs, and especially our new community platform which we will be sharing more content with you guys, and then having a more collaborative approach with you guys, communication, connection on our new kind of social network and educational community network. So if Matthew is with us, Matthew, one of my Shanghaing classmates and a fellow alumni and fellow board of directors of the Shanghaing School. Matthew, welcome. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the new platform?
Oh, can you hear me? Yep. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today, and apologies for the technical difficulties. But with all things like that, we have opportunities that come, and here I am, unplanned as well. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to tell you about some of the exciting new developments for Shanghaing School of Tibetan Medicine. As Adam said, we launched a new online learning community, and this is a vision that we have had for quite some time. We have had a 4-year program of Tibetan medicine, both on-site and online for now. Let's see, how long has it been? Basically 16 years or so. I was in the first class of Tibetan medicine students with Genla, Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo, who is here, and Adam was in a later class of the on-site training, and then we slowly transitioned it to an online training with on-site intensive, so like a hybrid program. And some previous staff members helped build that out on a platform called Moodle, which is used for education quite a lot. But over time, our version of that software got a little bit out of date, and we had wanted to kind of create a better experience anyways. And so just like the technical difficulties we're experiencing today provided an opportunity, well, the technical difficulties of our old Moodle platform provided a special opportunity to refresh and have a beautiful new place where our 4-year students can learn in a little bit more of a connected atmosphere, a nicer interface, and connect with the broader community of people who are really interested in this special knowledge base that is so unique and interconnected with all of the rest of Tibetan cultural knowledge and spiritual wisdom. So now everybody can come and join our platform, community.tibetanmedicineschool.org. And if you're on Facebook, we're really encouraging people to come on over and connect there, because I think a lot of us experienced the intensity that can happen on Facebook through last year. You know, social media itself is you, it's a pretty interesting environment. And so you know, with how special this knowledge is, having a more intimate, connected digital environment is also useful for us, because we can really share together in the wisdom without a lot of distractions that social media provides. So this is what we call a online learning community. And there, not only do we have the 4-year program, but we have a series of smaller courses that we're starting to roll out that are just really exciting, honestly. So coming up June 25th, we have a program called Immersion in the Medicine Buddha Mandala, and we have Garchen Rinpoche joining us for that, who's going to be opening it. And then we also have Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo, who will be going through the 4 tantras of Tibetan medicine, relationship to the medicine Buddha, and Adam also joining in and teaching on the teachings of Tibetan medicine as it relates to the medicine Buddha teaching. So really excited about this. I'm going to definitely be in and listening to this amazing course. And also I'm teaching a class called Gut Brain Health and the 5 Winds. So really looking at this emerging science on gut and brain health that is really a hot topic right now, and as it relates to traditional Tibetan medicine, which we've had thousands of years of knowledge on this relationship. So we're going to dive into that. We've got yantra yoga courses coming up, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek on a course that's not even up yet. We have women's health course that Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo and Menpa Lila Whitcomb Hewitt are going to be offering. So lots of amazing things. And this is just the beginning. We're planning to roll out some richer, longer courses as well, and stepping stones to the 4-year curriculum. So we're really excited about it. Please definitely, every time we have our webinars, we will be continuing to live stream on Facebook. But one of the benefits of jumping into the platform and getting onto the live stream that way is that you can join our after Q&A. And that's what we're about to get into now. We're going to end the Facebook stream, and we're going to have a more intimate conversation together here on Zoom. Maybe Andrea Dell'angelo's connection will actually work during this part. Who knows? But we will just hang out together and be able to chat a little bit about this topic. Maybe some of the folks here who have joined us through the platform have some things to share about the crisis in India, and we can talk together. So please come on over to community.tibetanmedicineschool.org. And we're really excited to have you join us and join some of our upcoming activities. So I think I'm complete there. Adam, thank you so much for inviting me to jump in spontaneously. I appreciate that. I had that thought too, actually, when everything was coming up. I was like, why don't we just change the topic and start talking about it? So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Menpa Matthew. Great. It's great to have you working on the back end then, helping us out with that. And regarding our new online platform, thank you so much, everybody. Matthew has been instrumental in implementing this new platform, and it's been really exciting. And if you haven't checked it out yet, we have heard that people are pretty much enjoying it quite well, that it's been going great. I certainly have been. So we're really looking forward to our upcoming course featuring very special guest Garchen Rinpoche, as well as Menpa Phuntsog Wangmo's courses and all the rest as well. Okay, so as Menpa Matthew just mentioned, we're going to shut down the live stream on Facebook now, and we're going to move on over to an informal question and answer time just hosted here on this meeting through our online platform. So if you want to come along with us and you have any questions about the ASIA Institute or about the work that's happening or about Shanghaing courses, if you have a personal anecdote about the ASIA work, we'd love to hear from you. So please do join us at community.tibetanmedicineschool.org. That's community.tibetanmedicineschool.org. And we're going to be switching on over to that now.